The real reason everyone's coming here is they want to see your finals predictions.
I'll go on the record, man. I've talked a lot of smack about their fan base is so large and very passionate. So whenever I call them out, they're always like keen to just retaliate. Now let me say this: if they manage to duck, they will make it to the grand final.
Nonetheless,
That's hectic.
welcome. If you've clicked this podcast, I just want to say thank you. I haven't said thank you before, but thank you for watching. We're growing. We're going slowly. We're grinding. Today we've got the GOAT of Twitch on. The GOAT of Australian Twitch.
I can't. Well,
Hectic
I'm
Fred.
blushing.
Hectic Fred. I've been watching his streams. He's been watching my podcasts. We linked up. We actually played basketball.
Against each other.
It's a long time ago. And the world's funny, bro.
No small world, bro.
And I saw you on TikTok. I messaged you, how do you grow on TikTok? Blah, blah, blah. 1, 2, 3.
Here we are.
And now we're good mates.
I know.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
Anytime, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. I really do. For a bit of background, Hectic Fred is can we go into depth with your streaming?
Go
Are
for
you
it, man.
like,
I'm so keen.
with what happened, it's all good?
Like, I'll touch on that a little bit, but yeah.
Can I say what you do?
Yeah, you can.
Streams the NRL, best NRL commentator in Australia right now. You know what? I made a point the other day on Twitch. Did you watch the New South Wales Cup game by any chance?
Nah.
It was before the para game that we went to. And bro, this commentator, right? I don't know his name, Mark Carroll or something. Terrible. Absolutely. You see the late shot that happened?
I saw. Yeah, I did. That was
bad.
That was bad.
A bad shot. And this commentator's going on about like
How it shouldn't have been.
yeah, it's body to body back in my day, blah blah blah. I was like, bro, shut up, please. Please shut up. I tweeted. I never tweet about them. So I'm not a hater, but like it just kept going and shut up. So would you ever do commentating? Like at that level?
Look, my parents always said that I'd be a good one because I never shut up.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd be able to like be zoned in like that. Like the reason I like doing it on Twitch is because when those games are like those dull games are on, you know, I have the chat to talk to. We'll just talk about anything really, whether it's NRL or there'll be those ones where it's 40-0 at halftime. The game is no longer engaging anymore because you already know the result. So the chat helps you.
Yeah. So you go beyond the actual footy game itself, but
Yeah.
basically NRL commentator, Twitch streamer, plays games as well. Very interactive with the chat. Got a few stats here. You streamed 2,233 hours all time on Twitch.
Wow, 2,000 hours. That's a lot.
That's on your, I don't know if you've had a channel before, but it's on the Hectic Fred channel.
Yeah.
Your peak live viewers, 968.
You know, we did see 1,000 once, but it never registered because I got screenshots showing 1,000.
And didn't register.
Nah.
Why is that?
I don't know. Numbers are funny sometimes.
Twitch, come on, bro. Give him the K.
Give me the K, bro.
That's a milestone. 16K followers, 16K plus, and your top 0.12% of Twitch.
It's pretty good.
Bro, those are some good stats.
I know. I never actually look at them. I actually, like, even when I stream, my viewer number is completely blocked out.
Why's that?
Just don't want to think about it, you know, like, especially when you're starting out, it's the worst thing to actually have it because you'll have like 8 and you'll feel like on the top of the world. And then if it goes down to 4, like, you just like, it gets in your head.
And the bar just keeps getting higher and higher. Once you reach like 100 and you're less than 100, it's like...
Yeah, it's like, it annoys you, you know what I mean? Because there's many reasons, like sometimes it's just the time you're streaming, sometimes not even you. It's out of your control. So, like, I just always blocked it out because ever since then, it's just been much easier to just focus on what's important, which is building a relationship with the viewer and with the community. And that's always what I want to prioritize. I don't really care about the numbers. Whether I have like 10 people in there or 1,000, it's like, to me, it's just the purpose is always the same. Just focus on having fun, enjoying it, and building that community, making it enjoyable for everybody.
That's good. I think that's the way to go too. And they can probably feel that as well.
Yeah.
You're not just worried about trying to get numbers and you're worried about the people in the stream.
Yeah.
How long ago did you start streaming?
We're getting close to 3 years now.
3 years?
3 years, yeah, since I started. So I really wanted to start after year 12. So I did have probably a few hours streamed on that channel in year 12. And all my mates are giving me a little bit of shit, you know, and
it's pretty daunting.
Yeah, it's especially when you're starting out, man. And I gave it up for 2 years. And then I'm like, why the hell do I need to just do it? Like, I'm not a person that has many regrets, but I don't want to live with anymore. That's on my head. So I'm just like, I'm just going to do it. If it doesn't work out, who cares? And here we are. I guess like I didn't tell any of my mates for a month. The first month, none of my mates even knew. I was streaming like Modern Warfare 2, bro. You know what I mean? I had this mod that used to always lag because you only Americans play it, but used to have like all of the good CODs just mashed into one. If you don't know what COD is, like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And like that was the first thing I started streaming, and I just loved it, man. And still, there are still people from those first few streams that come in today. Like, and it's just amazing how we've come so far.
How long was the grind of like what was the plateau at that time? Was it like below 10 viewers at a time?
Mate, I probably had, because I mainly streamed the most popular game on Twitch, which is League of Legends. And like one of the worst things you want to do as a streamer starting out is have a lot of competition. And League had the most streamers of a video game. So you'd be so far down the list, it'd be so hard for anyone to find you.
And Twitch is like that, eh? It doesn't really push.
Nah.
If no one's watching you, it's not going to push you.
Yeah, exactly. A lot, like about a year ago, they added a feature where it just shows you random channels when you click on a game category, but most people have the setting from highest to low when they search.
It's just already like that too.
It's just default like that, yeah. So they have recommended sometimes, but you have to be at a certain, like your numbers have to be under a specific group to go on someone's recommended. So if you have like 3, you will never end up there. So I probably had the first year, probably my average was like 8.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I started to realize, like I started to reflect, like why am I not growing? But then people who I know who started after me are growing quicker. So then you start to reflect and try and fix the problems that you're making, you know. So then I started streaming more games that are like single player because I enjoy playing them, and it will give me a reason to play a game from start to finish. So we started doing that, and then I started growing more and building a community properly, you know, because usually
were you posting any of this anywhere?
Nah,
just on Twitch.
I was just on Twitch. I only got a TikTok account probably a year ago. I never watched TikTok or anything, just because like I don't know. The only reason I got it was because my mate Charbel, he was doing TikTok lives, Charbel 96, and everyone was making fun of him, giving him shit, and I said no, only I can, so I'm gonna moderate for him. Then he's the one that convinced me to start posting stuff on TikTok. And then I was like, all right, why not? So then when I started doing the watch-alongs, then I just started putting clips up. And then, because with the full, like the reason I made a TikTok was to get people into Twitch, because it's so hard to grow from just Twitch on its own. And I didn't feel like my problem was retaining viewership. I think my problem was just getting people to just click on me in the first place. And that's most Twitch streamers' problems. And that the fact that without another platform, the growth is so slow, especially when you're starting out, it makes a lot of people put it off because it's a lot of work. Like if it was easy, then everybody would be doing it, you know? So it's a lot of grinding.
Yeah.
Streamed
I was
a lot.
listening to a podcast, you know, Ludwig?
Yeah.
He's doing a podcast with, I think, like Colin and Simi, and he's talking about you don't grow on Twitch. You go on the other platforms and you push them to Twitch.
Yeah.
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
The first time I heard that was the first time that I came to that realization that, yeah, I need another platform. But YouTube also has some of the same problems as Twitch, where it's like, dude, it's a lot of work. The editing, like videos have to be under a certain length. Like establishing that, you have to establish that community on YouTube as well. Whereas TikTok, man, I had mates that would make funny ass TikToks. I'd laugh my ass off. They'd get like no views. Then they'd release the dumbest thing they've got on their entire channel, and they have 15 million. So I'm just like, all it takes is one thing on TikTok to blow up, and you have like potentially 1 million people clicking on that one video. Imagine 20 of those people go to your Twitch and then become active members. It's so worth, bro. You know, so in my head I was always like, if this video gets me one guy to come in, it's so worth it, because it speeds up the slow growth that you have on just one platform. And then I just started uploading all the highlights I was reacting to, and it was so much easier than doing it on YouTube, not having to worry about, you know, some videos being copyrighted, you know, some videos being like, they don't like swearing now, YouTube. I swear like
a shadow ban kind of, yeah.
Exactly. I've only like, and TikTok still has those, but like they will on YouTube, they'll stop ad revenue on those videos if you swear too much, you know, and I swear a lot. So TikTok, I don't really have to worry about that. I just have to worry about
TikTok, unless
fights.
you're a business account, then you can pretty much post anything, obviously like fights and sex, but you know, sometimes it's sex, like, bro, people get away with everything.
Oh.
But like, I have a business account on mine because I want my link in there, and like I can't post some songs. It'll mute it. Sometimes not even post it because there's a song in the background.
Wait, they don't let you put your link in without a business account? Because I got my link in there.
I can't remember why I did a business account. I did it for some reason.
Yeah, my link's in my bio.
Really?
Yeah.
And maybe I need to take a good hard look at myself. But I like your shirt, and I'm gonna make a comment on mine. Fuchs active. You can see Fuchs training on this jumper, bro. We were at the game on the weekend, right? And when we were walking downstairs, me, you, Olin, and Jacob, I saw them coming up. I don't know if you saw me say hi to the two big Islander boys.
Yeah.
How big are they?
Pretty big.
Fucking massive.
Ginormous. Should have been on the field probably.
Yeah, they used to play footy. Very good players. Childhood friends of mine.
Yeah.
My brother. And the jumper Matthew had on, he had the next drop of Fuchs Active. So they're the owners of this. Sponsors of podcasts. I'm telling you, this jumper was clean. I don't know if you saw it.
I saw it. It was really nice.
That white hoodie. And then they had the grey shorts that are coming next drop. Bro, it's so clean. If anyone, boys that are listening, if you're going to get activewear, get Fuchs Active. I'm not saying go there now, click and buy. But if you're going to get activewear, don't get a Nike. Don't get an Adidas. Don't get a Lacoste. Get a Fuchs Active. That's all I want to say.
Bro, you're good at this.
I'm just passionate about this brand, bro. It's actually like good material. I love it. I'm going to do another shout out. You're Lebanese. I'm Lebanese. A lot of our friends in the space are Lebanese. Charbel's Lebanese.
Yeah.
John Bernard's Lebanese. Lebanese creators on the up.
Honestly, bro.
And I love supporting each other. And this guy here, so through Maddie, who owns this office, is Lebanese. He started a brand, and he talked about how we, as like his people, as Lebanese people and people in Sydney, always pump money into other brands like Gucci or, you know, Balenciaga or you know, brands that are from who knows where. They're making loads of money and everyone's wearing it. And it's like, there's nothing from my culture. And his parents are immigrants, come to this country, and he's like, he wants to provide something that glorifies the Middle Eastern culture and also give back. So he hasn't dropped yet. He's doing a drop in November, I think. It's called Son of an Immigrant. And he wants to give back to charity as well. But it's all about like glorifying is it called typography?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Arabic typography. I think that's Egyptian, but
it looks mad though.
Yeah, a mad jacket. I don't know if I'm doing it justice here. But basically, like I said, we're supporting the Middle Eastern crowd and we're on the up. So go follow him at Son of an Immigrant. Let's get into juicy stuff. We're at the game. What happened?
Got pumped.
We got nicked.
Absolutely nicked.
What was the score, like
42-6?
What do you put that down to?
Are we going to get that one printed out on shirts as well? I'm not going to.
Thank you. I think it's okay. End of the season.
I guess they switched off early, bro.
Yeah, we've had a good year. Started off rocky, but I think it's a success.
You think it's a good year?
I think it's a good clean out. We've built some combinations. We know where we need to keep building, but I feel like the locker room's changed and the mindset, and we're seeing light at the end of the tunnel.
We're seeing direction.
Yeah.
For me, that's the big thing, because there's a lot of teams right now they don't really have a direction.
No.
I think Newcastle are just a team they don't know where they want to be.
Titans, Tigers.
I think the Titans have direction because a lot of their team is young. They've obviously spent a lot of money on, you know, positions that probably don't deserve that much, but they've got a young core, young fullback, now they've getting Kieran Foran, but I feel like they've at least got some sort of direction. The Tigers, like without Appy and if Appy and
But Papali'i,
Papali'i weren't coming, they'd be in
do you
trouble.
think they're going still?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think they're 100% going. But the thing is they're getting Papali'i and they're losing like 3 or 4 back rowers. Like they're getting Blore next year, but they're losing Tuolangi to Manly, Ghana to Penrith, and they already lost Leilua, who I think will all be great players for their respective teams.
Well, hopefully they got some young talent, but I feel like we're heading in the right direction, and had some big losses, but we've started scoring points, and now we've locked in Serraldo, got Kikau coming, Marnie.
Kikau's a big one.
We'll get into depth about that, but you must feel like the man after that game. You couldn't go 20 meters without a fan photo.
Mate, it's Olin draws him in and then they'd be like, oh no, I know you too.
Oh, bro. Olin, he couldn't walk 5 meters, bro.
He's a celebrity, man, I tell him.
Dead set. Walking up the stairs to come sit. Everyone's screaming this way, this way, this way.
And, I commend him so much. I'm sort of like this as well, but I don't think a lot of people would expect him to take a photo with literally every single person, bro.
With a smile on his face.
He's such a nice guy. Behind the camera, not everybody knows, but he's just such a
even
good
when
bloke.
we were eating too, we're having lunch, and he comes out of the guys saw him at the window, the kids, and he came out he just got his food too. The burgers just came, and he's like, all right, let me get up and take a photo. Technical difficulties. Hey, if anyone wants a producer role, you're not going to make some money, but you might get dinner every now and then. Send in your resumes.
You get the company of.
Yeah, you might get a piece. You might get a
bill,
piece.
bro.
You might get a Fuchs Active gear. You get that sponsorship. But as I was saying, do you think Olin is like is that how you say his name? Is it Olin?
Olin Tekers, I say.
Do you think Tekers is the hottest creator right now in Australia?
Well, actual beauty hotness?
No.
Because he's both.
He's a good-looking guy.
I'm always
very tall, very big.
I'm always flirtatious with him on Twitch. That's how the relationship starts.
Nice and sus.
So sus.
But do you reckon he's popping?
Dude, he's so good at what he does, and he's a niche, bro, that no one can really fill here.
Yeah.
He's like an anomaly here. I always say, at the games especially, he sticks out like a sore thumb, because he's tall, and you just can't miss him. And then everybody, as soon as they see him, I remember he's like, man, we got to get here quickly because we got to go. We got to get to that Bay Vista quickly. So we crossed the road to break away from the main crowd, and I'll turn around, bro. There's people literally sprinting up to get a photo with him, bro. And of course, what to do? Hey, bro, what's going on?
He's still got the same energy as he does on camera as he does in real life. So,
I think he's nicer in real life than on camera.
Saw him in his element too. It took him 10 seconds to make a banger TikTok.
Yeah, I know. He asked us how to say it properly.
Yeah. Shout out Olin, bro.
Mad cunt, bro.
So what does it feel like you still obviously in the grind? You're not full-time yet?
Nah.
But what does it feel like to see some success?
Man, it's a surreal feeling, but I'd lie if I said I didn't think it would happen. I just always thought, I just stuck to my guns. I will be, I've always felt like I'd be successful in this. I don't care how long it takes. In my head, I was just like it's inevitable. I just felt like I was good at this sort of stuff. Streaming and being a personality. People had told me before they think I'd be really good at it. And I took it to heart as well. But I feel like if you want to be good at something, you have to have some level of you can call it confidence, arrogance, something like that. You gotta, because if you don't think that you're good at something, you're probably gonna hold yourself back and not hit the level that you want to hit. But you gotta find a balance between thinking you're good and not thinking you're the best when you're not. So you improve. It's as good as I think I am, I always got to try and level up or improve whenever I can. So
I feel that.
So I'm always trying to change stuff up, bro. I did a cooking stream last week. I haven't cooked in 2 years because my mum's working from home and she's the best cook that I know. But what did I do? I bloody got the camera, and it was a sponsored thing, but it was something I wanted to try, and having the HelloFresh sponsor would would encourage me to do it. So I got my little tripod out, bro. Put the camera
So you
and went
first
live.
like IRL stream or no?
No, I've done IRL streams before.
In real life?
Yeah, I streamed my basketball games, bro. It was probably the first thing I ever did IRL. And then, like, so me and my mates, we used to just get all the good clips, bro, post them on Insta, look mad. Some of the bad ones, like me getting every game I get hit in the head with a basketball. There was one where I just got absolutely dropped as well. And then I tore my ACL and I was caught on camera as well.
Was that on stream?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's got to be a first.
yeah,
First stream in a TED ACL.
my teammate was in the way, man, and it was our bloody semi-final too. But you just see me land, and then you don't see. Then my mate walks into. As soon as I'm landing, my mate walks in the shot, and then you just see me like in pain, bro.
Yeah.
Man, it was not fun.
Going back to that cooking thing you did.
Yeah.
After the game, I said I was going to pick up my daughter. I went to my sister's house, and my brother-in-law, I was like, oh, yeah, I just went to the game with this guy, and this guy, streamer, he streams the footy. He's like, and my brother-in-law, like, plays games and stuff, but he's not really on Instagram or TikTok. And he's like, who, Fred? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like 30 now.
Yeah.
And he's like, Fred. I was like, yeah, HecticFred. And it's like, and this is when I was like, fuck, this guy's like spreading everywhere. And it's like, yeah, he made a burger the other day, but it was shit burger.
When my dad liked it, I saw that if my dad likes it, then it's not too bad, bro.
But he's like, I was like, you watch him, and he's like, yeah, like sometimes I like to listen to someone of the footy.
Yeah.
That was crazy to me.
I didn't even know that. That was the first time I heard it.
What that?
That your brother knew.
He probably doesn't put in the chat or anything, but that was the other day.
There's a lot of people that like just want to watch or listen to and not like type, and that's fine, obviously. But or like every streamer knows, like anyone that talks in the chat just makes it so much easier, even if they're just writing bullshit. I have people in my since they've joined my community, have never been serious for one message, anything. They just permanently like just troll. But like it's funny. Like if I have people that just, for example, they'll call Matt Verdon shit just to piss me off because they know I love him. But then they'll go and say Tyson Gamble or Jacob Clifford would be able to do that.
It's trolling.
This is full trolling, and they've been in there 2 years. Not once have they been serious.
Yeah.
But it's funny, bro. It makes things easier. Like every single person that chats does make it a lot easier.
When you're not filming like watch-alongs, do you go into the stream thinking, all right, this is what I want to do, how I want to incorporate the chat?
Oh yeah, if I know that games are going to be bust, like especially towards the end of the year, like if I'm watching Warriors Titans, it's probably going to be like a fun game to watch.
This week was pretty bad. It's all floggings.
Like if I know it's going to be a week like this, like I know everyone's going to want to talk about EPL or everyone's going to want to talk about NBA, and they know I watch those sports religiously, F1, whatever. So then they're the games that if they do go bad, then I talk to the chat more than I actually watch the game because the game's just not that good to watch. With the 6 against, man, the scorelines blow out too, and we're practically just reacting to any big try or big hit that happens. And when there's just that, that period where it's just getting to that point, we're talking other stuff, Sometimes like just life experiences. That's what I like about streaming. Like, Ray Warren has to when the scoreline's 54-6, he's still got to commentate the game, like
act interested
in a game that's just not interesting. And that's when you hear Gus rambling on, bro, about random stuff. I feel like Gus is the one that is allowed freedom, but Ray Warren has to be on the ball all the time.
Yeah, you got to have that one person that will bring it back to the fight. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if you watch UFC, but John Anik's that guy. Got Joe Rogan and DC, and then there's that one guy that comes back to, he's just done this.
Yeah,
but you have to be all three or two of those people.
Yeah, like it's like the chat will always want freedom, and then sometimes there'll be people telling me to like shut up and watch the footy, and I'm like, not much to watch, man. Like we're waiting for the next game,
And with incorporating stuff, you had your first creator guest on the footy the other day.
John,
talk about that,
mate. John Bernard, mate. I was so surprised that it happened like that, but he just messaged me. He said, "Want to come on for a game?" I'm like, "Beautiful, man. Let's do it." He came for the Dogs Warriors game. Lucky he did, because I would have been annoyed if I didn't have him there at the result, because you're getting 40 put on you by the Warriors is pretty shit. But
if there's any team I hate, Warriors my most hated team.
you hate the Warriors the most.
I hate New Zealand.
Why? I'm like the opposite,
My
bro.
in-laws are New Zealanders, so I just hate New Zealand.
That's making me like them more.
Nah.
I love the New Zealand.
I grew up with Islanders, some from New Zealand. It's just like that rivalry, you
Yeah,
know, like New South Wales,
'Cause
Queensland.
you know they're gonna talk shit to you.
For me, it's New Zealand, yeah.
See, I love the New Zealanders because those fans, bro, they are, when they're mad, they are some of the funniest people I've ever seen in my life, and I feel bad for them. Like, we're in the sort of same boat. Our team is just not that good, and they always come to the strength to vent their emotions, man. Like, I thought Sean Johnson was gonna be good this year.
And they, like, Sean Johnson used to, when he was back in the team, when he was in his prime, he'd do like one mad play after about 45, 60 minutes of rubbish, and they would call MVP, and he's the best player ever. I used to do my head in at school.
What, prime Sean Johnson was not like that. He had it was a way smaller window for every brilliant moment than what you're saying, I reckon. Now it's a dime a dozen it's once in a blue moon he does something good. He did something good against the Dogs.
Yeah,
It was
to
good
be
to
against
watch
the
him.
Dogs, eh?
Had to be against us, man. It's good to watch him though.
Yeah, but that was fun with BK.
Oh, it was so good, man. Like, because I actually hadn't really spoken to him or met him properly, so this was like the first time. Like, I was more focused on like getting to know John more than watch the footy, especially when it was a blowout. We're just talking like the days when he was playing 20s and just like random stuff that happened to him and me, and we bonded, and everybody was saying that, like, it was like watching a podcast like live, and I think it's something that I'm gonna look to explore with just other content creators as well. So trying to line them up to come and like to watch along for some of the other games this season, especially now that there's only a couple of weeks left. Well, there'll probably be a special guest coming on soon. Won't spoil who yet till it's confirmed, because I don't want to say, yeah, he's coming in and he doesn't come. But like, it's something that I'm looking to explore more of, because I want to change things up, make things fresh. Like, I don't want every stream to be the same, and I think getting a special guest on every once in a while livens the place up a bit,
You
But
see that in America too. If like Aiden Ross will have Tate on, and then he'll be gambling with people and then playing games with someone else, and then Gideon will go off like Sneeko, and they're always mixing and collabing.
yeah, I
It's
think
win-win.
it's so good, because then you build those connections and friendships. Like, I like to call them friendships because that's always the intent for me. Some people just see them as like acquaintances or connections, but I don't know. I'm always like, I'm just a friendly person in general, and I always want to like, develop that bond with someone, because then it reflects when the next time they come on, and you're like best buddies, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I was so happy when John came, because like John's one of those figures where even my parents know him, bro. Like, I had like my aunties and shit like messaging me, bro, you got this bloke, how?
Safe to say he's made a name for himself.
100%. One way or another, bro. Like he's it's good to have him in the spotlight all the time. He's a very funny bloke.
We need that breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
More collab. What about like other ideas, as well as you got the watch along? You do gaming as well. What are some other things you do or want to do?
So yeah, the streaming when I'm playing sport is a big one as well, because I had a guy, my mate's brother, would come to every game and commentate, and he'd just be having a laugh watching me and his brother and the boys play, and that's something I want to explore more of. Like, so when I'm on the court, like,
And real life stuff.
yeah, real life stuff, going to the games now, because I'm gonna move away from like only streaming inside my room when I'm going, and go to the games more, because wasn't going to the games that much to stream. But now that the IRL thing seems to be working well and people seem to be enjoying it, especially when I go with mates, because I just like, if the Dogs score or the Dogs win, I just give them shit and everybody else joins in. Going to the games when recording with the headgear and everything, like, that's sort of going to be my staple at
It's a
the footy.
trademark.
Yeah, I think, because when I don't bring it to the footy, everyone's like, where's the headgear?
Yeah.
Where's the headgear? And I'm
Part
like,
of the brand.
yeah.
You might even start selling your own headgear soon.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm like getting some merch done. The bucket hats are like the iconic thing for me as well. Like, I just have like, so the way it works on Twitch is you watch and you earn this currency. Like, for me, it's kebabs, but for everybody, it's something else. And you can spend them. Like you can't buy them. You can only earn them from watching, and you spend them on like whatever the creator sets that, you know.
It's like loyalty points.
Yeah. And you can purchase, the creator can make a catalog of things for them to use it on. So for me, it's to put the hats on
You.
on me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So like there'll
a
be
filter.
people that have like 15,000 points and they spend 10,000 to put every bloody hat on me. So then there are clips where I'm wearing like 7-8 hats at once.
Oh wait, real hats.
Real hats, yeah, bucket hats.
Okay, yeah.
Like the Zinger box hat goes. There's this shop called Uncle Rico. I just bought like every bucket hat I could see from there because they're just mad. Like Zinger box, like Kirk's Facility, like all these random stuff. And I just sometimes just have 8 hats on at once, but it gets everybody involved. Because one guy will put a hat on, and then one guy will make me put 2 more on, and then one guy's like, that's funny, makes me put another one on, and they all collaborate to make me look like an idiot.
That's a smart way to get them interactive. I haven't seen that before.
And before my knee got done, I was doing like, if you saved up a lot, and because we used to do these things where we still do them now, you gamble those points on the game instead of real money. You're gambling the channel points on like nights 13 plus, nights 1 to 12, or like all the other.
I've seen you mention like put a bet on the game, or gamble on the game. I didn't know what you meant.
Yeah, they're calling like predictions. So
and
yeah, so people win like a lot when they pick an upset
of this virtual currency that you created.
Yeah, because the odds are based on what everybody else is putting their money. So if 1% of people like storm 13 plus hypothetically and they win, that 1% will win the 99% of the pot. So then they'd have like hundreds of thousands to spend on. For my ACL, they could make me dance whatever dance they wanted me to. Do you know how hard the WAP dance is, bro? That shit ain't easy. I was dying. I was dead after the first one. Then everybody kept making me twerk, whatever. I do it for a little bit, you know. Don't want to be like a prostitute, but like it's just for the laughs, you know.
Fred's out here dancing for virtual kebab money.
I know, bro, but it's like I don't get anything from it. It's just the fact that like, you know, somebody's been a contributor to the community so much that they have that many points. Then I'll dance. I don't care. So a lot of the time it's to just do the Macarena or the haka or something, you know.
And you know what I like about it? It's not like a come in, pay for me to dance. You're not doing it for money. You're doing it because you've built a community. These guys watch you, and they're not spending any real money. It's just
for me, it's just a lot of obviously there are creators that, you know, entice people to do that.
Because I've seen them, like you scroll on TikTok live and these people are doing shit in the shower for a donation or something.
Hot tub streams on Twitch, bro. Pop off. No, I got the tits for them, but I'm not gonna do them, bro.
You ever thought about getting in the hot tub?
No. People always like, you know, they're always like, "What's your OnlyFans link for the lols?" And get in the hot tub, Freddie. You want to buy me a hot tub? Maybe.
You also have in your bio, your Twitch bio, like, what is it? Donations are not required.
Yeah, I am not the type of person that like it's not a requirement, bro, to donate or sub. People do it just to support me, and you get these emotes on Twitch if you subscribe, and like I have some decent ones. Like I got one where it's like Trent Barrett has like the Viliami kick out haircut.
Yeah.
Have one with Craig Bellamy just doing these ones, like yelling at so whenever he comes on screen, half of the subs will just start spamming the Craig Bellamy one where the finger's moving because, you know, he's just fucking going to probably spray the players, you know. And I try to give them value for money, like good stuff for what they're actually paying for. And that's why I hope they spend the money if they choose to, you know, to get something good. And
you're also interacting with the normal chat as well.
Of course.
Because you'll see when people get to a certain level, like it becomes kind of impossible to interact with the chat. I show Speed, for example, but that chat's fucking zinging.
Yeah, so he would, like, when you get to that point, you have to, like, address the community as a whole and not one particular person. It gets really hard to, like, because then you lose that personal connection with the streamer.
Are you worried about that when you're growing?
No, as much as I like building the personal connection, I'd love to be so entertaining that I surpass the personal connection that people will just watch me because I'm entertaining, you know? And, like, obviously, if I ever get to that point, like, that's an anomaly, like, top 0.001% of streamers will ever hit that level. That's obviously the dream, but I will plan for that in advance so that I can be entertaining and try and interact with them more than what other people do, for example, It's sometimes just very hard to address this person specifically, but if I ever get to that point, I'll just try my best to be as interactive as possible. But right now, I'm nowhere near that point. And I'm still in a really good spot. So I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, keep growing, and keep interacting and building that relationship with everybody that's in the community.
Talk about a Discord. For anyone that doesn't know, Discord is like another social media platform. It's pretty much like a big group chat that you control, and there's different sections in there, but it's pretty much like a big group chat of people that, click the link.
Yeah, so like Discord is like, I found it as you replace Skype for a lot of us. So we used to use Skype to talk when we wanted to play games with each other, whatever, on PC.
I was MSN.
Yeah, MSN. Maybe I'm not that old, but we had Skype, and Discord came along and just blew it out of the water, and then everybody switched to it. It's like it's a very big group chat where you can have like multiple conversations at once. Like you can have like 3 people in one chat room and 2 people in another one, and then 20 in another one, all in the same place. And it's just such a good system to use. I have a Discord. Practically every Twitch streamer will have a Discord, just so when they're not streaming, they can still talk to their community as a whole. Discord's amazing, man.
Is that why you made it? Just that extra, I guess, layer of interaction?
Yeah, it's because like I'm can only be live a certain amount of hours in a day, and it's not like there will be relationships that are developed inside the stream where people just like agree with each other and then they like each other and they become mates, but they won't ask for their Insta or anything like that right away, especially. But if they're both in the Discord, guess where they can talk outside of the me being live, and that's the place where they go. We will always talk EPL, other sports, all that, and there's a section for like every sport in the actual Discord. So like it's just such a good place to for everybody to go to when I'm not live.
Yeah, it builds that community.
And it keeps it building,
With Twitch, there's a couple more things I want to touch on. What do you like? Break down what the steps to becoming a full-time Twitch streamer entails.
Okay, so I'm not full-time, even though I am 6 days a week, minimum like 2.5 hours every stream. So the only day I have off right now is Mondays. So basically, to get to that point, full-time, it would just have to be like financially viable for me to become a full-time streamer. So I have a good job and I love my job, and I would only ever leave it if it was smart to pursue a full-time career streaming and not actually working. So for me, I'm just trying to make a smart decision financially regarding full-time, because I can still do 6 days a week with the schedule that I have no problems with around work. So if I'm going to leave to purely do it full-time, something would have to happen. Or
is there like a certain sub count you're trying to reach for that to happen? Or?
No, it's like, because sometimes you have amazing months where you have 1,000 subs, you know what I mean? And then the next month you go back to 200, it would just have to be a consistent stream of revenue for me to think, okay, maybe I can do this full-time. But until that point, I just got to make the smart decision and juggle both. Now, it's hard as hell because you don't have a lot of time, a lot of free time. Especially now, like I'm doing rehab on my knee, so I got to go to the gym an hour and a half every night. Like I've got barely any time for myself, but it's all building towards something. So, I'm hoping that in 2 years, a year, I can possibly do it, but it just depends on, like I just got to, in my head, I'm just like, I'm planning for a family, buy a house, all that sort of stuff. And I need a consistent, job and revenue stream in order to do it. So it's not an easy thing to go full time, but if you are starting from the bottom, for example, and trying to work your way up the Twitch ladder, best thing that I recommend is be yourself, because I feel like everybody has a place on the platform. try to stay away from the most popular games. Now, that's going to be very hard for people because most people will play games that are very popular. But if you can find those games where there's a lot of people that like the game, but not that many people streaming it, you find the perfect thing. For me, the first game that I experienced that with was a game called Dark Souls. Have you ever heard of it? So it's known in gaming as like one of the hardest games that there is to complete. You get one shot by practically everything that is in the game, and you basically got to keep doing, but like you just progress through boss battles until you get to the end. And I never played a game like it, so I'm getting my ass handed to me. And I've let everybody know in my title that I'm a noob. Never played any of them. And the community will actively seek people who are playing it for the first time to hear their rage. Because, you know, if they've never played a game like it, they're going to get absolutely pumped. And your emotions get tested. Like I was on one boss for 3 hours, bro. It was like one of the early game ones. So so many people quit the game, you know, whatever. But the community is so large and so like dedicated. They just stuck with me throughout the whole journey. I told them not to help me, you know, just so I can experience the game to its full capacity. And it ended up being probably the best Twitch experience I'd had in like the year and a half I was doing it. And the game just had an effect on me. I just loved it so much. And yeah, it was so much fun, bro.
Yeah, and one that you didn't really expect, maybe.
Yeah, and I had a viewer like that was when I had a look at that month, because that was around a certain point where I stopped looking at the viewer count, you know, because it was just making me feel bad when I was streaming. Because, you know, you grind a lot of hours and you can see the growth is, you know, it gets in your head, the growth is slow. That was the first time where I felt like a moderately large, you know, I felt big. I had like 20 people in there at once, bro. That never happened naturally without a raid. You know what a raid is?
When someone sends?
Yeah. And they're finishing their stream and they send everybody to
people
you.
People do that to you?
Yeah, people do it to me. I do it to everyone. You know, I did it to Olin the first few times. And that's sort of like you trade raids pretty much. But that was the first time naturally I hit 20. And that's like just a surreal feeling because it feels like, man, I'm finally getting there. And then that's when I sort of stuck to that. Thing where it's like stick to that theme. Games that have a large community, some of the best games that I ever made, but they're pretty old, so not that many people stream them anymore.
Nostalgia as well would play a part
Skyrim,
in that.
bro. You ever heard of Skyrim?
I heard of it, didn't play it. I've never played PC.
Yeah, it's on a console. It's on everything. It's even on a fridge now, bro. It's on Alexa.
Seriously?
Yeah, like it's on everything, bro. It's a game that everybody loves, bro.
I'm a sports game player, bro.
You got to branch out a bit, I reckon, bro.
Yeah, I'm like...
Come on. Hey, listen, man. Do you watch TV?
Not really anymore.
Or Netflix?
Nah, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you think Netflix is good, bro. Wait till you play some of these games, man. I played a game called God of War, bro.
I've played that, yeah, it's pretty good.
When I finished it, man, I'm like, I'm never playing. No TV show.
I do like story games, but I don't know I don't have the time.
Yeah, so story games are the ones I'm really referring to. Yeah. They take a long time to play, but you can
save them and stuff.
You can go at your own pace, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Sports games, bro. You miss one patch, bro. Yeah, behind everyone. You don't know what they changed the game so much.
I don't. But yeah, this is what I did talk about this in the last podcast. This will be out by then. But I'm a sports and I like to compete with someone. Like me and you played 2K last time, and I took that dub.
Took the dub,
big dubs. But I like that like competitiveness. I got to verse someone just to beat someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And it comes from playing sports and stuff. But
yeah, I got this. You got to get rid of that competitive edge.
You got to play basketball to get it out. You got to play. If you're not playing basketball, if you've done your ACL, you got to play games to get it out.
100%.
Like, I don't know. I always need that, but I never really played Black Ops 3.
That was a good game.
That was a very good game. GTA, I love GTA, and then like 2K UFC.
Yeah, like 2K is great, man.
Yeah.
But they're not the same anymore, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they can't.
16, 14, bro. That era's 2K11. Those are the best ones, man. Now they're they feel like copy paste. They already felt copy paste back then, but they would improve it. But then it gets to the point where it feels like it's getting worse every year. And I think the 2K's biggest problem now is that the community split. So it's not crossplay. So like you have the old.
I hate that.
They're gonna change it.
The next one?
I think the next one, yeah. Where at least on the new generation, you can play with Xbox and PC, and the old gen they can play with Xbox and PC because they're two different games.
Why do they have two different games in the first place?
Because I think they want to innovate the game for the new generation of consoles, and the old generation can't keep up with that. So the old gen is basically just the same game reproduced, whereas all of the improvements will usually come for the new gen, you know?
Which is the one that we have.
Yeah, the one that we played on, PS5. So
The way I distinguish is the one if you can pull down the analog stick and do a flashy dunk.
do you like doing that?
I like that, yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's a big flex.
You like doing them, bro. I use Dirk all the time, bro. He's not doing no flashy dunks.
No.
You know me, man. 2K11, like 2011 Mavs, bro. That's my team.
I think I'm the best Aussie 2K player there is.
You think you're the best?
And I'll settle that on the stream one day when I start streaming.
Bro. Big Z's been coming into my streams, bro. You ever heard of him? Taisino and Big Z. They're from New Zealand. They're like probably the best 2K duo that there is.
Do they play like they have their own player?
Like they
Go.
You're talking about 5-on-5.
Yeah, I'm the best team player. Like you pick a team, I pick a team.
Yeah. Well, you barely beat me though.
Oh no, I was distracted. That's why.
No, we were both distracted. I was lagging too.
We might have to play tonight or something.
Maybe.
I think so. You know, next stream we'll play.
Yeah, no, we should. 2K23, bro. It's coming out soon.
All right.
You getting it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get it too.
I'm getting it on the fact that I want to start streaming, so I gotta have 2K23.
Yeah, no. See, like the reason I started streaming in the first place is I'm a massive fan of gaming. I've been playing games since I was 2-3 years old, bro. You know, my first game was GTA.
Yeah, which one was that?
So
back then?
I used to work with I used to live with my uncles and my taita. You know, we just all stayed in this place in Redfern, and they got GTA 3 and Vice City. Now I used to watch it play, and never used to shut up. I used to always cry when I play. So then my earliest memories of gaming is playing Vice City, bro, and that's why I think all the 80s music, you know, it resonated with me because I love that music now, you know.
Yeah.
And I've just always wanted to play games. And you get older and then you sort of have to put them away. But I don't want to put them away. It's like my number one form of relaxation.
Release,
you know what I mean?
and escape.
Yeah. So I said, you know, it's always good to have a pastime and something you relax with because it's not productive, but it calms you down. But then in my head, I'm like, what if I could make it productive so that no one can ever say it's a waste of time because look what I'm doing with it. Like I'm trying to make something out of it. Now, I know I'll never be good enough to be a pro gamer, so I think the Twitch entertainment route was the one that I wanted to take. And, like, it's done exactly that.
That's the dream. I don't remember many birthday presents in my life, but there was one. I'm maybe about 10 years old, and now I remember the whole day because of it. It was like a mini surprise party, came back from training, and the present I got was another controller. Because I had an older brother, I used to hog one controller on the wired PS2, and getting that second controller meant now we could play like duo game, multiplayer games. But that was the best feeling ever.
Split screen.
I remember opening it up. Yeah, split screen. At that time, it was like Need for Speed, and that was like one of the best moments ever.
What was your favorite Need for Speed, bro?
Oh, I can't even tell you the names, but
what,
bro?
Gotta remember those, bro.
Very early PS2. It was the last one I had.
Yeah, there's the Undergrounds. There's Most Wanted.
I think it's Most Wanted.
Yeah, everybody's
cops.
Everybody's favorite is Most Wanted.
Yeah.
For me, it's the one after. There's one called Carvin. This is the one that I like the most. I finished that shit like 7 times, bro.
We just used to race each other.
I used to. My mates used to come over, bro. Used to race them, man. Like it's just what we used to do.
Honestly, gaming is the best thing ever.
Yeah, no, I think it's the best form of media that there is, and the old generation, where they just think it's so stupid. But then they'll go and watch TV, sit there like pototo, bro, just in front of the screen, bro. At least you got to be you got to think when you're. But it's funny you mentioned the birthday present. My dad, this is my whole Lebanese side in general because I'm half Armenian as well. The whole Lebanese side, they just don't celebrate birthdays.
Really?
My dad hates birthdays. Like if we threw him a surprise party once, bro, he was mad that we threw him one. So he would rarely get me, he wouldn't get me gifts every year, you know, it's just, but there was one gift he got me that I'll just never forget. He bought me Modern Warfare 2 on PC when I was like 10, 11 years old, bro.
What a wahash.
Bro, cause that game it's one of the most, I think it's the most iconic game ever made.
That's to do probably because you got it as a present and you're 10 as well, you reckon?
No. It's the fact that like Call of Duty was a pretty big game, but then everybody knows Modern Warfare 2. Have you ever played Modern Warfare 2? Bro, my uncles were playing it and they don't even game.
The only COD I played was Black Ops 3.
You only play Black Ops 3. Imagine Black Ops 3, but like the best version of COD was probably Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2 for me. But that era of gaming where multiplayer was just like online multiplayer was just like starting to pick up, bro. And like I got it on PS3 a few years later, and still so many people playing it. The whole school,
now
all
it
the
moves
boys.
quick, eh? Now it moves really quick. Once a new game comes out, lobbies are dead.
Yeah. Whereas Modern Warfare 2 took a long time to die. Same as Black Ops 2. Like still so many people playing it, despite the fact that they're 10 years old. You know what I mean? But for me, that game just like, because YouTube gaming, Modern Warfare 2 was unbelievably big, and like a lot of people started because of the sort of scene on YouTube for Modern Warfare 2, and that's why COD got so big, because the YouTube scene was massive. So people would just watch the videos and be like, "That's cool, I want to do it." Yeah, and I was so happy that I grew up during that era of gaming. It just brings a smile to my face, bro. All the nostalgia. Yeah. It's a shame that a lot of games have gone downhill, but what streaming does is it makes the games that it makes practically playing every game enjoyable.
I love nostalgic games like this Fight Night. My father-in-law for some reason bought a PS2 on Facebook Marketplace just for his grandkids or PS3, and had Fight Night, which is no boxing game since.
Yeah, no, you're talking about Fight Night Champion was the last one, I think.
I think the one before then he's got where Billy Dib was in it and stuff. But that, like Simpsons Hit and Run, like there's just some bangers back in the day. But to cap off like the stream creative side of things, what are your goals?
I would love to do it as a job one day. Like that's obviously because I wouldn't actually see it as work. Like I treat it seriously like work, but I'd be doing what many people dream of doing. And what I've always sort of dreamed of doing is like being in that sort of space and being a creator, something I just always wanted to do. So yeah, I think my dream is to be able to do this full time and like pay the bills that way, I guess.
What about things like with your community and stuff?
I would just love to have a community that can grow to a point where everybody feels welcome, and it gives everybody a space to sort of like wind down and get to know people that have the same sort of like similarities and likes and dislikes, and considering we live in like a society that tends to be very lonely, there's a lot of people that just like, it feels like they're on their own. Having a place a hub where they can always come and not feel lonely and feel happy and get to know people would just be like, I think we have something like that now. Well, we definitely have something like that now, but for it to keep growing and keep, like the more people we can have, the better it will just be.
It'll blossom.
Yeah, and I've gotten a lot of messages saying that how much the community has had a positive impact on them, and how much like I've had a positive impact on them.
Must feel good, huh?
It's an amazing feeling, man, because you don't realize how much of an impact you're having on some people just by being you and listening to what they have to say and having a community that accepts them. There's a lot of people that don't feel accepted, at least when they leave their house, you know what I mean, and go into the real world. It's good for them to, when they have a safe space, and I just want to keep building that, keep it growing, and there's hopefully can have thousands of people in there instead of hundreds, and
we're heading in the right direction, bro.
Thanks, man.
The real reason everyone's coming here is they want to see your finals predictions, and we're gonna get to it. By the time this comes out, how many weeks is left? 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
By the time this comes out, finals will just be starting. And I'm gonna come on the stream and watch it with you. But
yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it, bro.
I'm actually looking forward to these finals for the NRL. I feel like this is one of the most competitive in a while. I feel like it's wide open.
Yeah, I think there's one spot that's filled, like from Penrith, because I just feel like they're too good. But Melbourne's a lot weaker. Roosters sort of took so long, like longer than everybody, to sort of get into this groove that they're in. South Sydney, if they have Latrell Mitchell, they're always a threat.
Do you feel like Penrith, their spots filled? Yeah, but I don't. In the previous years, it's felt like they're gonna make the grand final. They're unbeatable. I know they got beat 2 years ago in the grand final, but I feel like they've kind of shown they're human this year. I know they got players out, but like Para beat them in Penrith
twice. They beat them twice.
and they're full strength both times.
I think the first time they didn't have Ivan because he had that sort of knee thing, and then they had a lot of guys come back that first week they versed Penrith. Then the second time they were full strength,
But,
and then
yeah.
they didn't have Luai.
They've shown they're human this year.
Yeah, like they, it's like
They're
Rocky.
not on a crazy streak.
You watch Rocky 4?
Yeah.
Where it's like he hits Ivan so hard that he's cut and he
Yeah.
realizes he's human.
Yeah.
Could be like that.
Yeah.
But Paris seem to beat him every year.
Yeah.
That's the team. That's the team I want to talk about.
All right, we'll get into them. Well, that's good. What do you want to say about Para?
Listen, man, I'll go on the record, man. I've talked a lot of smack about Parramatta. I love their fan base is so large and very passionate. So whenever I call them out, they're always like keen to retaliate.
Look into the camera and say what you want to say.
Whether that's on TikTok or whether that's on Twitch, they always retaliate. Now let me say this: if they manage to duck South Sydney, they will make it to the grand final.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they'll win, but I think they'll. I have just a gut feeling because it's like they're losing a lot of players next year and not really replacing them with players of that quality or better.
This is do or die.
So I think this is do or die, and they know it. And like if Dylan Brown and like their spine is unbelievable, their forward pack I think is the best in the comp.
Now, more importantly, are you backing them to win the grand final?
I'm not backing them to win the grand final because it's Para. But I will say I think they're going to make it as long as they don't verse South Sydney. I think South Sydney just play the style. I just feel like if you move Parramatta around, they sort of struggle because their team is just very big and their forward pack especially is large, like not very mobile. I feel like teams that spread the ball a lot, especially inside their own half and move them around, they tend to get the better of them. South Sydney moves them around so well and they just seem to have their number the same way. Para seemed like, I know they lost in the final last year, but that referee was a bit.
I'm going to follow it up and go on the record and say I think Para's going to choke like they always do.
Yeah, I think they're going to choke, but in the biggest game, man. Just like they always do.
What have they?
36 years, bro. It's been, and the last time they choked, it was properly in the grand final.
They can either be the best team in a comp or down there with the worst, and I don't know if it's styles like you said, or if it's a mindset or locker room thing. But it must suck to be a Para fan.
It's been a long time since they won, man. Like, I want to ask you a question because I always say like you have to win it. Like if you don't win it, you'll look back at that era with like disappointment. Do you look back at like 2012 and 2014 and that sort of era with disappointment for the Dogs?
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a Doggies fan back then.
Are you serious?
Let me get into my history before I get roasted here.
Oh fuck!
Grew up a Dragons fan. My dad went for the Dragons. I like the color red. I was a kid. Grew up as a Dragons fan. Everyone at my school, I went to Bass High School, everyone was a Doggies fan, so, it was okay to be different and, big fuck you to everyone. And then I realised 2 years ago probably, I've been playing in the Bulldogs comp my whole life for rugby league. I went to Bass High School in the heart of Canterbury Bankstown. I only went to Bulldogs games with my friends. Why am I not going? My best mate plays for the Bulldogs, and some of the boys I played with growing up played for the Bulldogs. Why am I not going for the Bulldogs? So I made the switch, and now I'm a full-time Dog supporter. But I do remember those times, and those are some of the good years of, and that's Ben Barber years, right?
Ben Barber, and then 2014 when we lucked out and made it to the grand final.
No, I don't see that as a failure. I see that as primetime Dogs of War, big community, everyone getting behind. Ben Barber, Barber's at the stadium. It was a good time to be a Dogs fan.
Look, it was fun, bro.
Those were the games I was going to.
But I wanted to win.
Yeah, it sucks.
The fact that we didn't win, because I know we won when I was 5, bro. I'm 23 now. As long as I die with seeing my team win again, I'll be content with life. I'll be happy.
I like the build-up of not winning and then winning, and that feeling's so good.
Okay, like all right, the build up. I like I feel like all these bad years that we've encountered.
Now
over
imagine what a win will feel like.
I'll cry, bro. I could cry right now. Like every actor has their like trigger point where they can just start crying. The Dogs winning would just I could just start crying right now if I wanted to.
Who's your favorite Doggies player ever?
Hasm was the one that made me keep going for the Dogs. Because there was my sort of family history is like my whole dad's side goes for Souths. But Souths, when I was born and growing up, early ages, they weren't in the comp. And if they did, like my whole family was so annoyed with how they were being run. They just didn't really start supporting them until like 05 properly. Because my uncles, they just stopped watching football. My dad went for the Dragons during that point. Then they all went back to Souths, and believe me, they were trying so hard to convert me to South Sydney, but it's the fact that didn't have a Lebanese player. Dogs had Hassan, bro. Oh, magic, man. How could I leave him?
He's a pioneer in our culture.
Dude, little Hassan El Masri, bro. 157 tries, was the leading point scorer since Cameron Smith beat it.
Magic.
But guys, the guy was just the best kicker ever.
Best kicker ever.
Insane winger, because despite his little frame, just always managed to get the job done.
A lot of heart.
So much heart. Such a nice guy as well. I've never met him. I've only seen him in like the media. He seems like a saint, man. He's just so nice. But then when I was growing up, when I hit my teen years, Hassan was long gone. And I remember the first game he played, bro, I think it was the first game. We versed Canberra. And he practically lost us the game by giving away a penalty. It was Josh Reynolds. I never thought he would come to be my favourite player for bloody years. At that moment when he blew that, we gave away that penalty.
How long did he play at the Bulldogs?
I think he debuted in 2011. My memory's a bit shoddy, mate, probably, but I think 2011 till when he left, I think 2018, 2017 he left.
So solid 6-7 years, and he's become Bulldogs royalty.
Bro, but everybody knew I stand Josh Reynolds. Like I was like stand like Eminem stand. I had posters of Josh on my wall, jersey, Josh Reynolds. Everybody in my school knew that if you talk shit about Josh Reynolds, bro, I was gonna be mad as hell.
He was a man. He just played with so much passion. He made it fun.
I used to always say, man, and my mates quote me to this day, he wasn't the strongest, he wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the most skilled, wasn't the smartest, but he had the biggest heart. He never stopped trying. And it was truly amazing to watch him. He was even my dad's favorite player for that whole time, because and that year he played Origin, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, and then we won in 2014 with him playing 6 and Hawkinson playing 7. That was like one of the best moments of my life when we won that one. And at the end of game 3, you just see Jonathan Thurston, man, never has a mental breakdown whatsoever. 77th minute, he's elbowing Josh Reynolds on the ground, like full on.
He got under his skin.
JT's
my goat, so don't talk about him, please.
What do you think? He's my goat too. It was him for a long time, and then I remember I had a big argument with my cousins. Lebanese sport talk, bro. It just gets out of hand.
So we get into your NRL goat here.
Yeah, I think for me, I didn't really remember him very much growing up, but for me, Jonathan Thurston was the greatest. But he had that one flaw, which was his defense. Because he's only a little guy. I got given a box set of Origin from 1980 to 2013. And my cousin was like, watch Wally Lewis. He's the best player to ever play. Watch Wally Lewis. So I'm like...
I thought you were going to say Andrew Johns.
No, wait. It's getting there. So they had given me this box set to try and prove to me that Wally Lewis was the GOAT. So then I watched the whole box set from 1980 over the course of a year. I watched every one of them. And then I found the GOAT, but it wasn't Wally Lewis, mate. It was Andrew Johns, man. And then I started watching the old Knights games. You got to be good if I'm watching Newcastle Knights games. Right, and he was the perfect player for me. And I love Jonathan Thurston, but at the end of the day, I think he was better offensively in the attack. But Andrew was unbelievable defensively as well. He was the complete player. So for me, he just gets the nod over.
Is his
Jonathan
quality
Thurston.
of competition as good, but
Like, I don't really go into errors too much because that era was much tougher. Like, it's like basketball, it's very hard to compare
it
errors.
is so hard.
But man, he would have done it in any era, man. In any team, he would have done a job. So for me, Andrew's my goat.
Fair enough.
Jonathan Thurston second.
I got Jonathan first, and I'll put Cam Smith up there too.
Cam Smith, 100%.
As much as I hated him,
But then the next two sort of get, like, I think Wally's up there as well with Darren.
yeah, I love Darren Lockyer.
I think those two, like, Wally was a quality player, and I know he never won an actual NRL comp, but
Never?
he was only there for 2 years. He was only in the NRL for like 1 or 2 years, the back end of his career, because he used to be New South Wales had its own comp, Queensland had its own comp, but he didn't. He was in the NRL the back end of his career, so I don't judge him too much on that. But yeah, he was unbelievable, especially in Origin. Like, he won games that he just seemingly Queensland should never have won, but they had Wally. And Darren's up there too for me. 6 probably Billy or GI.
Who's the best right now?
Best right now, like assuming they're fully healthy.
Let's say this era, as in 2020, from 2020 to now, who's the best player?
Probably Tedesco, bro. Like
Not-
Tedesco from like 2018, since he joined the Roosters, I think from that point onwards, he's been the best player, most consistent in the NRL, practically never has a bad game. I think if I was to pick one player to have on my team, if assuming everybody's fully healthy, it would be Turbo. I'm a massive fan of Tommy Turbo. Nathan Cleary's up there as well. Who would you put?
I fought Tedesco, and my uncle's a diehard Souths fan. My cousin, his dad, the whole family, diehard Souths fan that you met. And he made a good point that who broke the game open when Latrell was on the Roosters in the grand final? Latrell broke the game open.
Listen, I think their game plan back then was pass to Latrell and get out of the way. But they had to get up the field first and get to that point.
And that's why I love Teddy. And Latrell doesn't, it's so, like, he's amazing. But I kind of like the hard yards that Teddy will take and Turbo will take, that, that first, second run, hit up. But it's a trade-off. They can't do what Latrell can do sometimes, where he can just fucking get the ball on fourth tackle in the 50-meter area and just fucking go.
I was at both grand finals, bro. Both Roosters once. I hate the Roosters because my mum started going for the Dogs and then switched to the Roosters when all of our players went across, like Anasta, O'Mealy, Willie. I hate the Roosters because she dogged me, and I was only Dogs
Bill
fan.
Eventually.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, Sonny Bill as well. So any more, they just added fuel to the fire of my hatred towards the Roosters. And of course, I'm at both bloody grand finals where they won, and both times I saw Latrell have an absolute masterclass.
Have you got so Latrell's there back to back, yeah? Or did he leave?
No, he was there for the back to back, and then he left, and then never won.
Which team was better, the first one or the second one? Or was it the same team basically?
I think the second one, like the second one had Angus.
First one. So have you got that second Roosters team? What year is that? 2020? 2019.
2019 and 18.
All right, 2019 Roosters or that Melbourne Storm Big Three?
Oh man,
fucking Big Four. Sorry.
What with
Inglis?
Oh no, that team's unbelievable. I think the English team would beat them.
Yeah,
but only just because I think the Roosters team, man, they had so much. Like, the joke was they were always over the cap because, like, how can you have that much star power? Like, it's just unbelievable.
You think Storm still beat them?
I still think Storm beat them, but I always think the 04 Dogs beat everybody because they're just ruthless.
04 Dogs?
I think the 04 Dogs best team.
If you think about those two teams, but
because the Big Four, weren't they over the cap?
Yeah, that's true. So
like,
it's kind of cancelled out.
Yeah, but then I always feel like the joke is always the Roosters over the cap, so it's a good matchup. But the Big Four should have never happened.
Well, that Roosters and Storm team, how similar are they? Latrell and Inglis in the centers, basically the same player almost.
Yeah. Cooper Cronk
was
on both teams. Yeah.
Who was the 6 at the time for?
So they had Kiri and I think Storm had Finch there one year.
And then both hard-working fullbacks in Tedesco and Slater.
I think
Like-
I think two of the best fullbacks ever.
Yeah.
Like
So it's-
Tedesco will be there when his career's all like he'll be 1 or 2 when his career's all said and done.
Yeah.
Like you can talk about Clive Churchill all you want, but it was black and white, bro.
Nah, Teddy's got to be up there.
Yeah.
And then whoever stays healthy, Latrell and Turbo, they got to stay healthy. But let's get into the finals predictions.
Let's go.
What your fans want to see, the juicy stuff. We're probably going to have, I've got the ladder up here. Hopefully it doesn't change. It looks like this is pretty much locked in. We're going to have Penrith and Storm, 1v4. Who you got?
Penrith.
Penrith.
Yeah, they'll have.
Should we talk about like each game or?
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about each game.
Penrith, so you got Penrith. You think Penrith are going to make the grand final?
Yeah, because if they're fully healthy, assuming they have Luai and Cleary, and I think they'll make it to the grand final.
Cowboys and Sharks in that second V.
That's tough because they're two really fast-paced teams. I'm gonna go with the Sharkies, mate.
Will this be a Queensland, this game? Cowboys on top.
Yeah, but I think the Cowboys will lose this week and the Sharks will win next week.
So you reckon they'll get on top?
Yeah, Sharks have Dogs in Newcastle. Cowboys have Souths next week, bro. They're going to be looking to bounce back.
Yeah, I think the Sharks can take him too if they're full strength. Eels and Roosters. Or does it go 5v8? Eels and Broncos.
The Broncos, for their verse this week, but the Broncos are just looking like asleep right now. I'm going to go with Parramatta.
I'm going to go to Broncos. I think the Broncos will knock Para out.
Dude, they're losing to everyone right now.
I think they'll wake up.
Do you think they'll wake up?
Yeah.
I think.
Assuming they come full strength, nothing happens in his last couple of weeks, I think they'll wake up and turn up. Adam Reynolds will turn up.
Yeah, but I feel like Mitch will turn up as well. I'd rather have Mitch.
Then Adam Reynolds?
Oh, no, not this year. Not this year. No, Adam's in class.
Adam's proved himself.
Yeah, Adam's up there, mate. I'd have him ahead of Mitch. I'm being an idiot.
And this is going to be a cracker game. Roosters and Rabbitohs.
Rabbitohs own them.
Yeah?
I'm going to go that last round too. Rabbitohs will pump them the week before.
And they're going to verse them again.
And they're going to verse them the next week.
Fuck, that's mind games.
Right, yeah, I know. I saw a similar situation happen in 2009, bro. With Para and Dragons.
You know what? But there could be a change if one of them win, lose, but assuming that's it. You think that the Roosters will get knocked out? I think Roosters are a dark horse for the title.
There's like 4 dark horses for the title, let's be honest, because Melbourne's weaker. There's like one spot that's just open because Cowboys are new to that sort of position. Roosters their players have been there in that situation
They're
so
looking
much.
good.
They're looking
some
good.
momentum.
Yeah, Sawali's a freak, bro. That's a player you want in a big game, bro. Guy that can change the game just like that. South Sydney have the best player in the comp right now. Melbourne have probably the other best player in the comp right now in Munster.
And Penrith have
the
other best player in the world when he's playing.
Yeah, 1 to 17, just unbelievable. Insane bench. Spencer Leniu doesn't get a big enough rap. He's so damn good off the bench.
He is. If you had to put who's going to be in the grand final, who are you going to say is going to be in the grand final?
Look, if they verse Souths, I don't know if the Eels will beat them, but I don't know. My brain, something keeps telling me it's going to be Penrith, Para.
Penrith and Para. If you had to put your Twitch channel on it, who are you picking?
Penrith, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not going to doubt Penrith.
There you have it. Penrith will be the NRL 2022 champions. And if you follow me on TikTok, I made a prediction at the start of the year that Penrith go back-to-back, and I'm standing on that prediction.
Yeah, look, I picked Penrith this year because I picked Souths the last 2 years, and they kept falling short because of their injury and suspension. But I'm going to pick I picked Penrith at the start of the year this year. I think they'll win it again.
I would like to see Latrell win a comp at Souths and prove everyone wrong, but I think Penrith will take it. Shout out Baby Chol, just posted a photo. He's looking fresh. Baby Chol, my guy. All right. We've got a couple questions here.
Let's go.
When are Tigers getting top 8?
God, it's been, 12 years?
I don't even know.
I think it's been 12 years since
I'm not
they
a
made
big
the
Tigers supporter. If we had to, cut down the competition and slim it down, Tigers probably the team to go for me.
Bro, absolutely not for me. The complete opposite.
Really?
They shouldn't even be in the merger conversation because as bad as they've been for 12 years, You go to a Tigers game, bro, and you know you're at a Tigers game. Their fans adore the club.
Yeah.
They go and watch. So they pull good numbers despite being this bad.
Oh, there you go.
You go-
An expert speaking. I haven't been to a Tigers
I
game.
go to Leichhardt games as much as I can, and you'll see all the Neds, can holders all over the bloody cans all over the hill, but it's just a beautiful place to watch football, Leichhardt, and I love the Tigers fans because they're so loyal. The Tigers probably make the 8 within the next 5 years.
Within the next 5?
Yeah. I think they're making strides. They have a decent lineup next year, assuming it stays healthy. I think they could have done a lot better this year if they were just healthy and kept Madge. But with Shane's coming in and Benji, he's being an understudy with Robbie, and they've got, if they keep Dane Laurie, because I've heard rumours that they don't want to keep him. Keep Dane, Nofaluma comes back.
He doesn't want to.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to leave the Storm. That's why, But I think keep Dane, keep Hastings. Hastings and Dewey, bro, is a good combo. They got Appy. They've got a good base. Like they've actually got a good spine to build upon.
There's complementary players now.
Yeah, so now they need complementary players. 2-3 years they'll probably be running for the 8-9 spot again. I know they hate the dreaded 9 spot, but
yeah, they had that for a while.
Yeah, that was like Arsenal 4th, like Tigers in 9th, guaranteed every year.
Who's winning the comp?
Penrith.
As you said. How did you get so good? Someone said.
How did I get so good? Lots and lots of practice. Lots and lots of practice, bro. Spent hours and hours trying to perfect what I'm doing. Just like anything, When I started playing basketball, shit. Then I got better. Worked on my free throws. Worked on my game, And you get better with hard work and good practice and proper self-reflection to try and see what you're doing wrong. And then you got to have the awareness to find out what you're doing wrong and then fix it.
Favorite thing about streaming?
The community, man. Love them. I've spoken to people I would have never probably got the chance to speak to if I didn't do it, and being able to have a hub where everybody comes and feels welcome and feels like they can speak their mind and their opinion and not get shut down. And it's a beautiful thing to have built. And I go to work, 8-9 hours a day. I travel back an hour and a half, and all I'm thinking about is the stream. Looking forward to it, And it's the best. It's just an amazing thing that I've built.
Congratulations, bro.
Thanks, man.
And I'm excited to see it, keep going and for us both to grow together and do stuff together in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone can find him, HecticFred, everywhere.
Yeah, TikTok, Twitch.
Go follow the Twitch.
And then Insta, HecticFred_.
Get in the chat, drop some dubs. Like, subscribe, comment on everything. Both of our things, and thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
That's a wrap.